Finish
It's a
your
big
statement.
one. Oh, now I see. Okay.
Finish your statement. Don't truncate it
no, it's a
anyway.
big one.
Reverend CFO, Astus has given you an open invitation, standing invitation.
Chayu, let's move
Pay
on.
a working visit
Only
to the
sisters-
Sunrise team.
Only 60. I should visit. Okay, well.
So a working visit.
A working visit to the
okay.
Sunrise team.
So that he appreciate the work the team does.
Thank you. You are in the spirit.
And if he appreciates in kind, we won't say no.
Oh no.
Who are we?
You know, a man of God there, you are always led and directed by the Spirit.
And who are we to refuse?
Who are we to refuse the promptings of the Holy Ghost?
We hear you.
Yes,
60s
yes,
don't
yes.
know. So this is where it was going to. If trouble come, we don't know.
Janet Quason will arrange something with the CFO.
No problem.
Yes. If for nothing at all, he will say a word of prayer with us on the show when he visits.
But
so CFO, today is Friday.
It's okay.
Okay.
Next week Friday he can visit.
That's enough.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday.
Yeah.
Then let's greet him again.
Today is Friday.
And ask him if we should pass by the office after the bulletin.
Next week Friday, the month would have died.
The moon
would have died. So
hey, tomorrow is Valentine.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, today actually as well is World Radio Day, by the way.
And World Condom Day.
What's the correlation?
Is it for us here in Ghana? It's globally.
There's a World Condom Day. Whom am I to say it is?
And World Radio Day.
World Radio Day.
World Radio Day. World
Day
Condom Day. Chocolate Day. No, Chocolate Day.
Chocolate Day is tomorrow for us here in Ghana.
I saw a video on social media of a guy who said he was robbed in his house, and the Valentine gift that he was planning to give to them had been stolen.
They have been entering people's
they
pockets.
They didn't take his iPhone. They only took the Valentine gift he was planning to. So now he doesn't have a gift, and he's traumatized.
The huge surprise he had for his loved one.
Oh, he has been.
Thieves broke into his home
robbed him
and took it away as well. But anyways, let's.
If they give you that format, go and report to the police.
He just reminded me of someone who, the guy says he stores pictures of various incidents as excuse for the future.
So that the day will come,
broken down car picture, he puts it there. Oh, the car's broken down.
This sounds like DJ Phil.
He can do it. He can. DJ Phil, he can do it.
Charlie,
the boys at the back.
You know, on this Valentine conversation, a lot of people are finding excuses to run away from the village. I was seeing a video where someone was saying that they asked them to cook rice and beans. When she finished, the guy said, "No, I asked you to cook beans and rice." And he says, "What is the difference?" And then fellow men were saying, "There is a difference."
Rice and beans. You cooked beans and rice.
You understand? So there is a people are finding all sorts of reasons to escape the billing that comes with Valentine's.
But dear ladies, dear ladies, for the first time ever, spore the men for the first time ever. Flip the narrative. Let this Valentine be about the men.
You are on.
Let it be about the men. For the first celebrate. Let's this.
No, I'm not saying. I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
With
the way you are protesting.
No, I said this agenda.
This 2026
So
Valentine.
this one,
It should be about the men.
Council, you are jumping the gun.
I am sorry.
This
agenda. It's in front of the gun.
This agenda. We are putting 1,000 bags of cement.
So let this Valentine be. If the women, if you agree, send us a message and then let us know where you stand. Yeah.
Right. Today we don't have a lot of papers.
The newspapers are. I think they started an early weekend. So.
What do we have?
We don't have. Let me start with Elvis Darko's news center. But do you realize there's a color change, or it's me?
Yeah, it's light blue now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the ink finish for this edition.
It's the red finish. The red finish.
Where is your boyfriend? You are sitting at home.
to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And today. Some people.
When I shot my shot.
The question.
Did you take the bullet?
Exactly. Some people are being given excuses. Oh, I am going for a weekend to go and see some property or to go and conduct some business.
Yeah.
You will find your level as to whether or not you are the substantive
or the substitute.
You will find.
I'll gladly be your lawyer. Come and see me if they do something to me.
But somebody
if they lie that your gift has been stolen.
What on what basis would they come and see?
Oh, you come and see me.
But someone says this Valentine's is actually tricky because it's a weekend. What excuse are you going to give me?
But yeah, traveling. Yeah,
we have funerals. We have
hold on. Let him implicate himself. Continue.
We have weddings. We have funerals.
Weddings will last 24 hours.
No, but you have to go and talk to your friend.
Okay.
I mean, you are part of the organizers.
You are the one carrying the drinks to the reception.
So you are actually leaving this evening.
Yeah. But you get there tomorrow.
And then the wedding is the whole day because you are part of the organizers.
Yeah.
You'll be busy.
And the network is not good over there. But you try and send maybe a box of chocolates.
No, you just send a text message. You say, I arrived safely. I mean, the program is going on well. I will see you on Sunday.
Yes. So that one there to be post Valentine.
No, Sunday we'll go to church.
Anyways,
so those of you who are always working and be making fake calls, this song is for you. Because you don't want Marina to talk to you, then you are pretending to be on it.
As for me, everything is a small winner.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marina.
Good morning.
Eric Mawina Egbeta.
Let's get into the.
I should go back to News Center.
Into News Center. I beg you. As we are turning the conversation on me, let's go to News Center.
Cocoa farmers lose 1,038 Ghana cedis per bag, translating into 16,608 loss per ton. Wow. Minority condemns big cocoa price cut. 7-0 Supreme Court verdict affirms Anas's title to Chadoland. Occupy Ghana submits bill to criminalize bribery and primaries. 71% of Ghanaians worried about rising food prices. We'll definitely come back to this. Watch it, sell some on you. IGP promotes record 12,802 personnel. That story is on page 7 of the paper. So I'm guessing that all those who said their promotions had been stampeded.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are smiling by now. On the back page of the News Center newspaper, you have Ghana plans fiscal council after IMF exit. What does that mean? We'll set up another body. We are going to set up another body. Ghana plan. Okay, let me just take that. Government has announced plans to establish an independent fiscal council to strengthen financial oversight after the country exits the International Monetary Fund program. Announcement was made by Mr. Thomas Nyako Ampem, Deputy Minister of Finance. I honestly don't know. Medical doctor or book doctor?
The Deputy Finance Minister.
Yeah, the doctor.
I honestly don't know.
I have to just check.
During a courtesy call by Miss Emmanuel Bolustro, head of the Regional Economic Department of France for Nigeria and Ghana. Okay, so we are going to have an independent fiscal council. So the question I'm asking is, this is going to be another body?
So it appears. That says to be set up. There says another body.
No. So he's not a doctor. He's just Thomas Ampem Nyako. Yeah.
Go ahead.
He said IMF program targets remained on track. Inflation had declined to 3.8% and key microeconomic indicators were showing positive trends. He welcomed deeper collaboration between Ghana and France to sustain economic growth. I'm looking for the quotes from this story. I am not getting them, but that's the idea. So, government will establish an independent fiscal council. Okay, so we have economic management team. We have
the presidential advisory group on the economy.
Is group.
Yeah.
Is it what page?
Right. Presidential advisory group on the economy.
Mm-hmm. That's page.
That's okay.
We have the Council of State already. That's also playing some role in that.
Yeah, no, but this is economy specific. So let's at least let's pay the Council of State.
Then this new.
Then this one would be Independent Fiscal Council.
And we already have the Fiscal Responsibility Act too.
Yes, and there was another group. There was another group that had been set up, right? So we know.
Does the finance minister have a council or committee of a sort advising him?
The finance minister.
Yes, the finance minister has an array of
advisors.
Some advisors.
No, not the individual advisors,
but what?
Like a kind of a body.
Not to the best of my knowledge. It's just technical advice.
I think I recall there was a group which was set up before Page, which had a number of individuals before Page. I just have to check.
That was the Senchi. That group organized Senchi.
No, after Senchi, there was a group which had the former finance minister said Tekpe in with some other individuals before the creation of this page as well. This one is specific to post IMF and maintaining fiscal balance. The Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy as well is supposed to provide
strengthen financial oversight after or post IMF.
What sort of backing? Perhaps let's get into the details right away.
Yeah,
what sort of
that's
backing?
what I tried finding, but there's really not much detail on this. So it talks about where he made the announcement. It said the meeting focused on strengthening economic ties between Ghana and France, and then he expressed Ghana's optimism about Ghana. Yeah, he expressed optimism about Ghana's economic recovery, and attributed the progress partly to international partnerships, including support from France. So the only thing that probably relates to even this is IMF program targets remained on track, and he went on to talk about. So the rest of it is about Ghana IMF. So the only thing we have here to go with is the hint of an independent fiscal council. The name may change; it may be the same.
Means it's not yet in.
The plans are there. They are making plans. So this was just an announcement of the plans.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever it is, plans are already in motion. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. And all of this joins in on the many groupings, right? Who are supposed to help safeguard against excesses post IMF. Is it just me, or it appears there's a lot of activity on the front by the government to say that, look, when we exit this IMF program, we don't want to slip and go back. Mind you, the president has spoken and said this will be the last time we're going into an IMF program, and it will not happen again. When he made the announcements, a lot of us, myself being inclusive, I've been a bit skeptical. We've had this on so many occasions, but if you look at the share groups that are being created and the individuals at the finance ministry who have come in to advise the minister as well, it does look like there is a bit of deliberateness in the courses of action being taken. And Mike, perhaps I'll defer to you on this one, per what it is that you're seeing, whether or not it looks more towards that direction or it's just me thinking out too loud. Because now we're seeing this IFC come in, even though there's the law that exists already. We've seen the page. We have a group already advising the president on matters of the economy. Then at the finance ministry as well, there have been different individuals. Dr. Thuye Champon, for instance, who we've been speaking to for a very long time, is now an active player in terms of providing sound reasoning and support in terms of technical ability to the minister as well in navigating the waters and all of that.
I think that overall, they seem to be ticking the right boxes with some of these moves. But history will tell you that a lot of the times in the first few years, governments seem to get it right. But the challenge really is towards the election year. That's the true test of all of these that we are seeing. Will they still be fiscally disciplined during the election period, where we know that governments in and out have been consistent in their budget overruns and the likes? So far so good. But the point is that we live to tell if they will continue with this trajectory, or it's all going to be a 9-day wonder as at 2028. So let's see how it goes. But at least in the meantime, we can commend them for the fiscal discipline. They have been very, very prudent, and to some extent, some have even described them as frugal, because they have tightened expenditure to a significant extent, not releasing money to cool the economy and all of that. And you've heard the minority use that against them. Used it against them that they are not spending because they are not paying a lot of the debts. They are just sort of keeping the economy under wraps as much as possible to get it to cool down, and then probably begin to, so to speak, loosen up a bit after all the macroeconomic targets they've set have been attained.
Now?
You said?
Is government spending now?
Well, I think from the look of things, maybe they are easing off gradually, because we know contractors have begun to receive some money even this week. We had some 1 billion cedis has been released for contractors. So I think the spending is happening now, but maybe still at a slower pace, but at least it's better than what happened in the previous year. But, right now, with your inflation at single digit at 3 point something, policy rate at about 15.5. Now the economic indicators sort of give you a bit of room now to begin to spend, to focus on growing the economy, because you've been able to stabilize it, so to speak. So let's see how it goes.
I said on this show that the one thing I have always stood with Ken Ofori-Atta, former finance minister, on is the fact that we are a proud nation. We are not going to the IMF.
Sovereign people.
We are sovereign people. We shouldn't be seen anytime we knock the door and the house owner opens the door.
They are here again.
There we are with a cup in hand.
They have come again.
Then the house owner goes on, you again.
You again.
That feeling is not a good feeling for a proud people, a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
So whatever the administration needs to do to make this one our final IMF appearance, I think that I will support it. What we saw with our last return to the IMF, it didn't just happen overnight. It usually would start from somewhere. The things that we should not be doing that we are doing. The things that all the technical advisors, all the academics are advising us against, and we keep telling all of them that we know what we are about. Those are all the things that we should be on the lookout for. And also the greed of the people. I will come back to that one on food prices. So as the government is helping us, providers of goods and services should also be able to stand in between the government and we the people, so that at the end of the day, we ultimately are the beneficiaries. Shouldn't be the other way around. So for me, I think that we need to have a clear plan. You said there seems to be a foundation that is being laid without probably saying it in so many words. Yes, that would be good. And we need to have a clear plan that will keep us away from the IMF, at least for the next 10 years. So that we know that for the next 10 years, we are focusing on homegrown plans and policies for development. so that we know that for the next 10 years, we have a framework that would guide our economic development and take us away from all these Bretton Woods institutions, so that we also go back to being lenders to other African countries.
It will be nice. It will be nice. But in continuing along the lines of homegrown policy, yesterday one of such announcements was made. One that I don't want to call it radical, right? But one that has been suggested for a very long time: value addition to a lot of the raw materials that we produce and export. Yesterday, the finance minister said, yes, we're going to find money. Cocoa Board is going to find money and pay the cocoa farmers. And then going forward, the rest of the beans will be purchased at 2,500 cedis plus. Then the rest are going to local processes in terms of for this crop season. But from next crop season, 50% of all of our cocoa beans produced in this country will go to local processes, and then the remaining 50%. An example of sweeping reforms expected to change the trajectory of how things have been. And Mike, you were there yesterday. Quite a number of questions asked in relation to what this means for foreign exchange and what have you. At the heart of it, there's a mention of job creation.
Yeah. Where
processing will mean a lot more jobs will be created and what have you. But we're beginning to... an announcement has been made as to a shift of what has existed since pre-independence, since our colonial days, actually.
Okay.
And this looks like in the direction of something that could be big if done and done well.
Before I go into that, let me just share some data with you. The top 10 non-traditional export products as of 2024. Guess what? Out of the top 10, cocoa derivatives make out, or processed cocoa products make out 3 out of the 10. And it will surprise you to note also that our top earning non-traditional export is cocoa powder.
Really?
Cocoa powder. Then also we have cocoa butter in there and cocoa paste. And I understand that you can almost double or even triple your earnings from cocoa just by adding some level of value to it. So this talk about...
And ours is premium.
Premium cocoa. So this talk about... And to add to it that... Remember I told you during my visit to Japan, there were chocolates there being sold that had the name Ghana. So the name of the chocolate is Ghana. So it shows you that there's that association with Ghana and premium cocoa.
Right.
So it shows you that there's demand for it if only we have the capacity to supply. A friend of mine was in China last year and he said they went with samples of the golden tree chocolate to share with the Chinese community. And by the time they sampled it, he said one person was ordering 12 container load of golden tree chocolate. But do we have the capacity to meet it? So the potential for our cocoa and its derivative is endless. So long as we have the capacity to produce, because that has been the problem and the challenge. And I'm sure to all the local chocolate manufacturers who are listening to us, share your thoughts with us, because I know that for a lot of them, the capacity and the access to the cocoa has been a major drawback. But the demand is there.
So in fact, interestingly, yesterday Wisdom was here, right? He's one of our research guys. We're having conversation, and we talk a lot in the newsroom together. And he was drawing my attention to the fact that our local processors have to rely on cocoa beans from our neighboring countries, Burkina Faso, sometimes Ivory Coast, because all of our cocoa beans is headed outside. So they actually do not get cocoa beans to process, and there's a genuine difficulty. So yesterday, when we were having the conversation, he stressed that the most important aspect of this, and in all of our conversation, will be value addition. And so having had the minister mention this again, it's been something we've been talking about. But 50% of everything that we have, also, I asked the question, do we have the capacity to process 50% right now, or we're putting in place fantastic, but it's a genuine question to ask right now, whether or not, based on the interaction, that 50% can be absorbed, and then we look forward to it. Yes, there was engagement with the respective players within the sector, and so there's a predisposition to want to say that, yes, there's that potential there.
Yeah.
Right? But again, for us, we need to ask questions and then be able to get an understanding, because we don't want another situation where next year we'll say they couldn't absorb all 50% and were seeking to offload again to the international market, and then it could create complications and farmers are not paid again, and the entire conversation comes about again.
Yeah, that's a critical one. And, the challenge that I understand from what you've also said is that a lot of the local chocolate manufacturers are having challenge having access to the beans. So if this government introduces a policy that would make it easier for them to access the beans, I'm sure that will help significantly. And if you remember, my question to the minister was on the issue of revamping the cocoa processing company. How are we planning on doing that? The potential to process 50% is there. However, is the capacity available as we speak? And if at all, how soon? And those are the critical ones that we need answers to. Because once we're able to figure that part of it, trust me, this country will be in a very, very good place. Being able to process about 50%, let's just take it on the barest minimum, would mean increasing our earnings from cocoa by not less than 100%, just on the surface of it. And like I told you earlier too, the cocoa cocoa powder is already fetching us good money.
Yeah.
So if we are able to increase the capacity, as for the demand, especially on the global front, I'm sure it is huge. So long as we build the capacity and we are able to what's it called? To produce the chocolates, they will sell globally. And those are the critical ones that we have to. But overall, I think that the policy as it is sounds fantastic.
I mean,
it always
sounds fantastic. It always sounds fantastic.
Is the implementation now that we are really curious to see what will be. I appreciate the fact that the president seems very particular about ensuring that all the SOEs in this country turn into profit-making institutions. He's spoken that any SOE that boss that fails to provide his financial statements
by first quarter.
Those are great stuff. That's what we want to hear. And I'm hoping that same level of accountability will follow this. And I am hoping that a technocrat will be appointed to run it and will be given the free hand to run this fully as a business without political interference, because that has been one of our major setbacks.
In fact, that is captured in the recommendation by the Constitutional Review Committee, allowing SOEs to outlive, like the executive, right? The bosses to outlive the political terms, because the combining of both and running along the lines has proven very detrimental to some of these SOEs.
I get that point, but however, to get it right, it means that we have to have SOEs whose leadership is not appointed, are not political appointees.
So they even.
Do we have any such SOEs?
No, so it's part of the recommendation by the Constitutional Review Committee.
Because
actually,
if these SOEs are to work properly, that is why I also support the idea of listing all of them on the stock exchange, like putting them all together.
Yeah, and then the people and all of that.
So that they are runners like private companies, independent of political interference whatsoever. Because that is what is setting us back. The fact that a lot of them are political appointees, their accountability is poor. They get away with a lot of things, like some of the things that we just heard from Cocoa Board about over a decade, total supply of jute sacks already bought down for only God knows what.
Those things can be very disappointing.
And those are the things we need to put strict measures there for our SOEs. Demand accountability.
Yeah, procurement is one of our biggest beans in this country. Our biggest beans.
So those are the critical things. Once we're able to nip that in the bud, I think that we should be able to turn the fortunes of these SOEs, especially these new ones that are coming on board. Like I'm saying, Mr. President, we are happy about this call. We hope that whoever you're going to put there I don't even know. Do they already have a boss there at CPC?
PBC?
No, the cocoa processing company.
Okay, so I know there's a boss for PBC. PBC is now going to take charge of buying all of the beans. The government says they're going to revamp because they've been down and under.
As was the case.
They've been down and under for a very, very long time, and they are going to receive a lot of financing. I think yesterday I was speaking to the boss there as well on a number of such matters, and there's a lot of excitement on the horizon. But let's switch to the cocoa farmer as well, because there's a drop in price per bag for them, and the argument, particularly from the minority, is that the government should have swallowed this cost and ensured that the cocoa farmers' price per bag and price per ton, what have you, was maintained.
16,000 per ton.
Yeah, and 1,000 and something per bag, right? I don't know where.
The bag is
38.
2,500 per bag.
1,038 per bag.
No, that's the loss.
Yes, that's the loss.
Yes, so
that's what he's talking about. So the position of the minority is that government should have.
Yes, government should have.
This.
Yes, as subsidies and so that the cocoa farmers. I don't know where you stand on this.
So actually, on Business Focus on Monday, I had Edward Kaiwe as the former secretary of the General
Agricultural Workers
Union on my show as one of the guests, and his argument was basically that half a loaf is always better than none. And his argument also is that when the price of maize falls, the maize farmer is paid based on what the prevailing market price is. He doesn't think that cocoa farmers should be given that exception when every other crop goes with the prevailing price. And in his argument, it is better off that we reduce the price so that we can pay them than keep the price up and keep it unsustainable. And already this is cocoa board that is already struggling and it's in financial distress. It makes no sense to be, interestingly too, the farm gate price as at then was even higher than the global cocoa price on the market. So it meant that just looking at those numbers, cocoa board would literally be selling cocoa on the spot market at a loss, based on the price that it's paying the farmers. And that wouldn't make financial sense. So people like Kaiwe had already called for the cocoa price to be reduced. And I think that's the logical thing to do right now under these circumstances. Right. Because you can't be selling at a loss. You can't be selling and to the point where you can't pay your farmers. Then what's the point?
What's the point of
and remember that some of them are old as far back as November. So if you're going to keep the price up, then it means that it may take a year or more to be able to pay them. That's even if you're able at all.
While we're at this, and fantastic reforms announced by the finance minister, and we've been having that conversation. We're asking the question, implementation. We need to see a serious review as to operations and staffing and whatever as well at Cocoa Board. We have to be honest with ourselves as a people.
Yeah.
The manner in which the facility and the institution has been run, is being run, needs to be looked at again. Some of the comments which were made, some people might treat as trivial, but it's very important. When the cocoa farmer had not been paid, the bosses and staff will be paid. They literally exist because the cocoa farmer continues to plant or continues to go into their farm and treat and ensure that they bring the bags of cocoa and everything. The day the last cocoa tree dies, PBC, Cocoa Board, CMC, Cocoa Marketing Company, all become useless entities to this country. Unless, of course, we are going to be importing cocoa beans and we'll be finding ways and means and doing other engagements. They exist because the farmer exists and the farmer is producing the beans for us. It cannot be that the institutions will begin to create problems which the poor farmer somewhere will have to shoulder and carry.
Yeah.
They exist to make decisions to serve the entire interest of the sector, and we need to have honest conversations as well about the management. Yes, the management in the previous 8 years, prior 2017 to 2024, is going under the microscope.
Yeah.
The Attorney General has been asked by Cabinet to conduct a forensic audit and investigations, possible prosecutions into some of the decisions which have been taken. Such razor-sharp focus as well must be put on the new administration as well. We cannot see further inflation in terms of the numbers of persons who work there, for instance. Not just Cocoa Board, CMC, PBC, who have had serious problems, workers leaving, staff not being paid for months and what have you, and all of that. That also needs to be front and center in these reforms that have been announced. Otherwise, we will make the announcement, we will do this, we will do that, but the institution, Cocoa Board, 20.6 billion in terms of debt.
Over 30 actually, from what Randy Abbey said, is quoted to have said.
Exactly.
Yeah, about 30 billion.
We can't allow that to continue to balloon. Then what is the essence of the reform and whatever that we're seeking to push as well? So that is also another aspect of the conversation that needs to come front and center. We must not leave it at the fringes and say, oh, the government says we are going to purchase cocoa and then we'll process it here and what. Yeah, that's fantastic. But so must our lenses be on the institutions that are supposed to be supervising and looking after these respective agencies as well.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, because you see, and that's why I was very happy about the finance minister's statement there and on the fact that the AG has been asked to look into this, because it is important that we crack the whip to sanitize the space, because that will serve as a deterrent to whoever is there. Because if it is done to your predecessors who supposedly were involved in any form of malfeasance or whatsoever, you will also set up a note that should you leave, similar thing could be done to you. The other side too I was very happy about was when the finance minister stated that in the cocoa bill that's going to be laid before the cocoa board bill that's going to be laid before Parliament, the issue of cocoa board going to road construction has been cemented over there. It's now a no-go area. And
they have no business awarding road contracts
whatsoever. And I think that it's quite sad that a lot of SOEs in this country get carried away with ancillary functions that they don't deliver on their core mandate. And I'm hoping that this would help Cocoa Board now focus sharply on its core mandate there of ensuring that cocoa is produced from our farmers to meet our targets for the year. And all the attention and all the concentration will be on delivering, supporting our farmers so that our cocoa outputs can begin to pick up. Because you see, we are dealing with a double-edged sword here. Now is the issue of pricing coming up. In the midst of all of this is still the galamsey issue that is affecting our cocoa farmers that we are dealing with. That's already competing with us for space. So now we expect that Cocoa Board would be more, for lack of a better word, serious and focused on the farmers and ensure that they are meeting the farmers at their points of their need, helping them, supporting them with all that they need to make sure that we get this thing right. Because we can't continue in this cycle. How can the financial situation of Cocoa Board be this bad? I'm saying that we've done this for decades. How is Cocoa Board not able to finance its own operations after decades of doing this over and over? Now we are going to issue cocoa bills. The question is, really, how's the public going to respond to this? But we are hoping that this new Cocoa Board will be very intentional with its plans and ensure that in the next couple of years, Cocoa Board would have enough financial muscle to finance its operations and not need the cocoa bills and never need syndicated loans and the likes. That is where we are hoping that this. Imagine that Cocoa Board was strong enough and we actually had a cocoa bank.
Hallelujah.
Because they were that liquid. Those are the things that we want to see. That's where we want to see Ghana get to. And we are hoping that this cycle of ad hoc. Anyway, I rest my case.
No. You have to fire. You have to fire.
We need to progress.
Yeah.
We've done this we need to progress. We need to move out of this hand-to-mouth approach to things. And you see, if Cocoa Board is running losses, it's problematic. It is problematic. And
are we not the same people saying that Cocoa Board has money, so let it help in one or two projects that would benefit the cocoa farmer? For instance, roads in cocoa areas that need facelifts, and central government budget is not able to cater for that. So let us pick something from the cocoa money and then retool
have
that,
we done
that
any,
sector.
any?
Or we say that the cocoa farmers have children whose education is probably in limbo because a lot of them pay so much attention to their farms that they may not be they may not be able to even pay attention to their own kids. Or rather, that let us take something small from the cocoa farmer and put into the education of another child in that same cocoa village whose parent is not able to finance it. So let us use some money and set up scholarship schemes. I mean, these for me would not be bad in themselves, be bad or evil, but maybe in their attempt to manage the process, in their attempt to do that good, then we see greed. So as I always say, set in, and people trying to take advantage of that. If a 1 kilometer road will cost the cocoa money 100 Ghana, you see people put 200 Ghana of the cocoa money into that. So for me, I think we don't necessarily have to wholesale say that we would not use cocoa money for 1, 2, 3. I think that we need to be able to streamline the processes and let the interventions come in on as and when basis. You get it? So that at least some areas or sectors would also benefit from the cocoa money sum. But the way people, so I shouldn't read the Daily Gist again.
Oh, do the paper for us. We beg you.
Okay.
We beg you.
But you've said it already. Mahama Research Cocoa Farmers gives haircut from 3,600 to 2,500. Minority CDM reject cocoa price cut. Baumia host Afoko in Piani in 2028 push. NDC defends Baba Jamal vote buying scandal. Haruna Idrisu escapes death in Gore crash. Yes, this came out yesterday. I think we have pictures online for those who want to see scenes of the accident. And it wasn't just the education minister. I understand he was in the Deputy Communications Minister.
Suparo, the Honorable Suparo as well.
So we wish them well, speedy recovery, safe grace, so that
they were airlifted to the capital yesterday.
Yesterday, yes. Even the trauma that would usually come with such accidents would be healed by the blood of Jesus. That is it for the Daily Gist newspaper.
Right then, let me take you back to the finance ministry. Here, brief excerpt again of the address by the minister. But any further thoughts? I mean, we've been having you've been very quiet on the cocoa subject matter.
Yes, because I like to respect expertise. Michael knows a lot about the cocoa sector. That's why I decided to shut up so that he will share a lot on this.
It's the way you decided to shut up.
Yes, I decided to shut up so that Michael would, because yesterday, if you recall, I spoke about the same cocoa sector thing, and it's what I have just shared adds up to that there's a lot of sanity that has to be brought to the sector. For a long time, as far as I can recall, there were a lot of people who wanted to work with Cocoa Board. And what is the reason? They pay well. There's money there, allowances are there, they are doing one, they are doing two. And the cocoa board became so attractive that at a point, I understand it was the highest paying state institution. And if we have staff so well paid, so well motivated, what is the problem? Why is productivity now a question? Or rather, it's not a question of productivity, but a question of, yes, it comes down to productivity, not on the part of the farmer, but on the part of the people fashioning out the policy and ensuring that the farmer in whose name they are well paid will also equally be well paid. So I think that there's a lot of conversation that has to go on the sector and ensure that the focus is not taken away from the farmer. And like I said yesterday, that in doing so, there's a deep encouragement to young people like me who can travel from what you call the north into a cocoa growing village and get farmland for myself and also start growing cocoa rather than coming to stay in Accra, sleeping in some kiosk, open to all the troubles that you can find and all of that. So the encouragement we keep giving young people to get into farming, it shouldn't just be about maize farming or rice farming or yam farming. I think cocoa is another area that young people can get attracted to. But the packaging of the industry, how it is presented to us as young people, makes it look like it is a punishment. If you are picking up a hoe and a cutlass, then it is the biggest punishment you should get. Why should I even have to use a hoe and a cutlass? Unfortunately for us, that is where we still are.
Right then, that's Leonard Council Sixu Strong Ulu speaking to us as well on the latest in terms of cocoa. I just want to take us back to the Finance Ministry, hear a brief excerpt of what it is I had to say. Then the minority as well on their numerous concerns on their concerns, right? The concerns they had with the announcement, because there were three different speakers. There was a former finance minister, there was a lead person on agric, and as well a lead person on the economy as well, all speaking from the news conference yesterday.
By the PPLC to increase the producer price of cocoa made Ghana's farm gate price competitive and stemmed the potential smuggling of our cocoa beans. From October 2025, unfortunately, the world market price of cocoa started dropping. While the price was declining, Cocoa Board continued to sell the beans until the price fell below $6,400 per metric ton, which is the cost of cocoa from the farm gate to the port. The causes of the situation and the way forward will be my next thing to address. The current situation is largely driven by the unwillingness of buyers to purchase Ghana's cocoa because it has become uncompetitive and very expensive. Cocoa from other producing countries is now selling at a price significantly lower than that of Ghana's producer price. Meanwhile, Cocoa Board did not have the liquidity to purchase cocoa from farmers and stock for hedging or other trading decisions. This was due to the financing model invented in the year 2024-2025, when the syndicated loan failed. Under that model, the buyers financed the purchase. By 2022, Cocoa Board finances had deteriorated badly. It defaulted and restructured the cocoa bills in the year 2023. For the first time in the history of the cocoa industry, in 2023, the annual syndicated suffered significant delays due to the loss of confidence in the Ghanaian economy and the sector. The first tranche was received on 22nd December 2023, 4 months after the commencement of the season. Cocoa Board projected an output of 800,000 tons and committed 786,672 tons in contracts in 2023 and 2024 crop season. However, actual production was 432,145 tons, a deviation of over 45% from the projected output. Variation in crop forecasts typically vary between 5 to 15%. Hence, a deviation of 45% was unprecedented and unacceptable. This resulted in a huge rollover contract of about 333,767 tons at an average price of $2,661 per ton. This resulted in a loss of over $1 billion United States dollars, which would have gone to the cocoa farmer or other stakeholders. In 2024, Cocoa Board could not pay the final tranche of the syndicated loan, which was due in July 2024, and received a $70 million United States dollar bridge finance from the Ministry of Finance to avert a default. Despite a commitment to repay the $70 million bridge finance owed to the Ministry of Finance, Cocoa Board defaulted, highlighting the dire financial strait of the organization at the time. This debt has since been inherited by the current administration and the current management of the Ghana Cocoa Board.
It's a boy never